Hello out there in YouTube world and Facebook and Twitter and just in the cyber world altogether. Let's call me Yvette Cypress, and I am coming to you from out of my bedroom. This is my first recording, but I do plan to make more in the future, but this is my first one, and I figured today would be the best day to start because I have something that I need to talk about that came to me yesterday. And while I was working this morning, I said, yes, let me talk about this. So here it goes. I would like to talk about being a naysaying friend, a negative friend, or a discouraging friend, so to speak. Oftentimes, we don't realize that we're doing it, but sometimes we can be our friend's worst enemy. Our friends might be trying to do something, accomplish something, change something, anything. And oftentimes, because we feel that they can't do it, we'll sit there and speak it into the air and put it out there in the atmosphere. And we tell our friend, oh no, you can't do that. Oh, that's a bad idea. Oh, that's just all wrong. No, that does not fit you at all. This, that, and the third. That's being a naysayer. You should never want to be a naysaying friend. That is not what a friendship is designed for. A friendship is basically based off of someone who can encourage you. I've made most of my friends because of some type of encouragement, whether it was on my end or on their end or on both. However, there was a situation, just so I can explain why I'm going into this, because this is what brought me to this moment. I've been dealing with some stuff myself, and I've been trying to change it for the better. I've been trying to change myself for the better. And this stuff basically has been like an ongoing cycle for maybe about 3 years. And I finally got to a point where I said, hey, maybe if I stop doing this, I can get something better. That was my aha moment, the first one. Then about 2 months later, I get a second aha moment. The second aha moment was basically explaining to me why I was doing what I was doing in the first place. But I got that second aha moment after I already knew what the problem was. So I know what the problem is. I want to fix it. However, you do know, however, when you have a problem and you try to fix it, you can't fix it right off. You try to, you just can't. Even if your mind is set to it. And that's basically what happened to me. It's almost like somebody a drug addict trying to go into rehab. They stop, they do the drugs, they stop, they want some more drugs, and they go get the drugs. Or they take the drugs with them to rehab and then they clean them out. You know how it all goes. I don't know. Basically, I'm just going to call it crack. No, I didn't do crack. I'm not on crack or any of that. I'm just calling it crack, just to be general about it. I realized my problem with the crack. I stopped the crack. I had a weak moment and went and did some crack. A month after I did the crack, I had an aha moment of why it is I'm actually doing the crack in the first place. Which made me come to further realize that I really need to stop doing the crack. I shared this with my friend. And it was about time he figured out. Well, that's not what they said. It was like, well, I could have told you that. Yeah, you probably could have, but does that mean I was going to listen? No. And here's the thing that we must realize as human beings and people. Everybody goes through something and deals with something. And people have to want to change on their own. So people who have problems, when they realize they have the problem and they can admit it, that's a plus. When they realize that they want to fix the problem, that's another plus. When they actually realize why it is that they have the problem in the first place, that's a bonus. I've had all three of those moments. And it just took me a minute to get there. And sometimes it takes people a minute to get there. Everybody figures out their problem in a different time span. It just took me a minute to realize what my problem was. And so I shared. And when I decided to call my friend, because when I went and did the crack, after I said I was giving the crack up, it came with a little bit of unnecessary mess. So I was calling the friend to vent about the crack scenario. And the friend went in on me. And it caught me off guard. And I'm like, well, why are you talking to me like this? Basically they was like, you're always doing dumb stuff. They didn't say stuff, though. They said the word that rhymes with it. Anywho, I was like, where is this coming from? So, on top of when I said I was going to stop doing the crack, you said, okay, you know how your track record go. We'll see. You know how you do. I don't know. Basically being that naysayer that I was talking about earlier. It was almost like, and then when I had the conversation about going and doing the crack, I knew it. I knew you did it. I knew you did the crack. I was just waiting on you to come out and say it. I mean, really? So you weren't looking for your friend to pass. You were looking for your friend to fail. That's how I took it. And it's a hurtful feeling. And I try my best not to be a naysaying friend. And maybe I have been a naysaying friend at some point in time. But I try my best not to be. Because the thing that I've come to realize is everybody has problems. Everybody needs somebody to listen to them. Everybody needs somebody to talk to. And, whenever my friends come to me, I try to be that person. I'm usually fair about what I say. And I try not to go off into some kind of tangent. Especially if it's directly about them. It might be about another party, then yeah, I'm going to go in. But if it's about them, then I try to choose my words a little carefully. It's like the words weren't thought about when it was said to me. And they got off the phone, and then they called me back like 10 minutes later and apologized about being rude about what they said. But to me, it was already too late. It's like trying to take back the stone after it's been thrown. You can't take words back after they've been said. Especially the way you said it and the way it came out. That was really how you felt. It was like you wanted me to fail, and I failed, and now you want to come out and tell me how I'm doing a bunch of dumb stuff. Friends aren't the only people that do it. Family does it too. And it's like you want somebody to do better for themselves. But what encouraging word is it that you're giving to that person who's trying to change, and they're saying that they want to change and they're trying to do better when they're telling you that they want to change? Are you really giving them an encouraging word, or are you being a discouragement to them? Are you being that naysayer? Think about it the next time somebody comes to you and says something to you. Don't be that naysayer. I'm trying my best not to be that naysayer. When somebody comes to me about something, I try to give them an encouraging word. If I don't have an encouraging word, I'll just sit there and listen and say, okay, well, good luck. That's all you can do. I'm going to stop there. I could go on a little longer, but I won't. But that was just basically what I wanted to say. What kind of friend are you being? Are you being an encouraging friend, or are you being a discouraging friend? And if you're being that naysaying, discouraging friend, please learn how to stop being that discouraging friend. Because granted, A leopard cannot change its spots. I'm not trying to change my spots. I'm perfectly comfortable with my spots. I want to change what's here. I want to change what's here. I want to change what's on the inside. That's something I can change. Okay? I'm keeping my spots. I'm keeping my skin. I don't want to bleach it. I don't want to darken it. I don't want to do anything to it. I think I have lovely skin. I just really feel that sometimes we need to understand that everything is a process. And this is and that was a process for me. It still is. And the next time a friend comes to you with trying to change themselves for the better, here and here, please don't be a naysayer. Because believe it or not, it does bother them. It does hurt. And it makes them wonder if they can really talk to you about it, if they do have a relapse or not. Take care. And I hope it wasn't too long. Until next time, be well.